Morning. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Clickbait and Coffee. We're going to sit here for just a minute, let YouTube catch up and StreamYard to where you can see, and hopefully we'll have somebody in here in just a minute. Ground Fog left a comment at 10:20 last night. So if anybody is in here, give me a 2x4 in the chat, and we will start here in just a second. And I'm going to turn my phone on silent because I know someone is going to text me this morning. Michael Hamilton, good morning. Chantel, good morning. It's got like a delay and everything. I hate that stupid delay because then you sit here for like 30 seconds going, I just feel stupid sitting here. I am looking at the weather. It is cool this morning. It was 51 degrees when I got up this morning and went outside. I'm like, man, it seems kind of like fall is here. So, but what's everybody got planned? Yeah, Michael, it's like you just sit here and look stupid for a few seconds, and it takes like 30 seconds for everything to catch up and all this. I guess that's why people do intros. But the whole thing is intros. I hate intros on a video because you just sit there listening to music or the little thing flashing up there. And when I'm working, I'll listen to podcasts or listen to longer videos, stuff like that. So I throw my earbuds in, and it pisses me off when I have to fast forward through all that kind of stuff. So I will try not to do an intro unless we get super, super fancy or something like that. So Bill Warner, good morning. And Chantel, it's 62 degrees in my house this morning. It was, we just left the air on. I didn't know how cold it was going to get this morning or last night. So it was like 65 this morning when I got up. I was like, ooh, it's a tidbit nipply. And Michael, it's in the 50s there. Yeah, right now it says by my phone, it says it's 59. And we're going to be a high of 77 today. So looking the next 10 days or so, the highest we're going to get is 82. So Greg News here. Good morning, Greg. All right. Today we're going to talk batteries. I've been messing and doing some batteries, and I'm kind of a battery hoarder. I've got tons of batteries, but we're going to talk about batteries here in just a little bit. So after we go over some of the other fun stuff. And Shelly's here, Two Old Crows. Good morning, Shelly. And let's see. Bill says we turned the AC off last night and opened the windows in the house. It's that time of year where you can crack the windows and let the breeze air your house out. So my wife will probably have the windows open today. I've got to run work on jobs and do all that fun stuff. I got tile to lay today at my brother's house. So we put down all the Hardy backer board yesterday, and I want to start laying tile on the floor. The tub surround is done. Looks good. He's happy with it. So, but and then our couch. We ordered a couch and chair like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Ordered it. And they called the other day and was like, hey, your couch is in early and chair. And I was like, cool. And my wife was like, bring it on up. So they're delivering the couch and the chair today. So I'm excited about that. We've been needing a new couch. The couch we bought a while back is trash, and I paid good money for it. And it went to hell in a handbasket and just looks horrible. So we've got a new couch today coming. Bill said, I've got mowing to do today. Bill, I do not envy you whatsoever. I totally despise mowing. So I spent this weekend, Saturday, we've got bookcases up in the living room of the house. We've got our stone fireplace, and we've got built-ins on each side, and we're repainting the house slowly but surely. And good morning, Mike Shepard. So we decided we wanted to paint the bookcases something other than white. So we picked out a color. I forgot what the color name is, but it's like a darker kind of greenish brown color. So I started working on those. painting those jokers in the shelves. So I've got sawhorses down here in the basement with 2x4s and all my shelves and doors laid out, and working on getting those painted. And then the frames and everything are painting upstairs. So I've been working on that Saturday, and then Sunday I went out to what was it? Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I'd put the animals outside at the neighbor's field, and the neighbor calls me and he's like, "Hey, your donkey's standing in my front yard." And I'm like, "Dadgummit." So I go down there and look. These stupid vines, there's just vines all over that place. The vines had grown so much that they were weighing the fence down. So I brought everybody back over here, and Sunday I ended up messing with the stinking fence and clearing all the vines off it and everything like that. And get everything good, ready to go, stick those jokers back out there. And me and my youngest one leave, and he looks and he's like, "Dad, the donkey's standing over there." I'm like, "Dadgummit." So we put everybody back behind hard fence on my property. And I go down there, I told him, I'm like, "Just go back to the house." I was like, "Let me check some stuff." So I check, and I've got a fault somewhere in this fence, because it goes from the fence charger. I'm popping like almost 9,000 volts right off the fence charger. As soon as I hook it to the electric fence, it drops to like 2,000 volts. So I'm like, I've got a short somewhere. I just did not have time to look for it. So maybe this afternoon I can get out there with the fence and look for it and find out what's going on. And honestly, I think I'm going to buy I hate to. I've got a couple of those cheap Patriots chargers. They're just small. They put out, I think they're rated at 1.2 joules is what they put out. I think I'm going to go buy a good Gallagher, one of the big Mac Daddy Gallaghers that are putting out. I think the one I was looking at puts out like 8 or 9 joules. So I'm going to get it. I hate to choke the money up because they're $400 or $500, but they're supposed to be an awesome charger. So I'm going to go look at one of those this afternoon at Rich Pond Hardware right down the road from me. Michael Hamilton is laying conduit to the barn and picking up blackberries. That sounds like a good time. And Andrew Massey is here. Good morning, Andrew. But yeah, so I've got a lot on my plate this afternoon, all that fun stuff. While we're at it, first aid kits and program radios and with consultations, go ahead, run in, check out the website. We do have, if you can see right over there, all our bags now. We've got leather patches. And let me grab this. Jeremy at Hot Brass has done our patches for us. And if you can see that joker, he did a bang up job on those. I've just got a couple in right now. He is working on some more for us. He did some prototypes, and I'm like, that's exactly what we want on our bags and our IFACs. So I've got a bunch of those coming. They should be here this week. So those are going to come on all our vehicle med bags and on all our IFACs, and they're stinking awesome. I love the leather patches. But go check the website out. Everything's pretty much in stock as far as medical stuff. All the radios are in stock. I've got a bunch sitting back here, and I've got a bunch on the shelf in front of me. So go check those jokers out. Jacob Wynn, good morning. And Bill, those Energizers are expensive. Yeah, I mean, it is. Let me pull up. I was looking at some Gallaghers. Let me see. And it's funny. Rich Pond Hardware, which is a little, the little farm supply place right down the road from me. I was checking a couple months ago and looking at them. He had Gallagher fence chargers like $40 cheaper than you could buy them off Amazon. And I'm like, how is he doing that? So I don't know how he's doing it. Let me see. The one I was looking at is it's a Gallagher M800. It's a 8 joule deal, and it's $440. So I think he's got those over there for like $400. So I'm going to run check those out. But yes, Bill, those things are stupid expensive. But I mean, you kind of get what you pay for. And then one of the things that kind of, Shelly, thanks for putting the link in for the store. One of the big things is the Gallaghers are not waterproof. You have to have those in a cover. So what I'm going to do is take one of my Condition 1 cases or one of my knockoff cases and build a box for it, because the Gallaghers, for what you pay for them, you have to keep those out of the weather. So I'm going to build me a little box and do it that way to where I can have it sitting outside, because I don't want to run power all the way from the barn to where I can keep it inside all the way over to the neighbor's place. So that's going to be a little project that I work on with that. And Michael says, my Speed Right remote is eating batteries. I would like to have one of those jokers. I was watching Greg Judy, and I forgot what brand he recommends. I know he likes the Cyclops, and there's another one, but it's got the remote where you can turn it on and off, and I think it's the Speed Right. So, but we're probably going to go Gallagher, because I can get it right here. I can get it tomorrow or today if I need one, and if I get a chance on messing with all that stuff. Let's see. Michael just popped in to say hi, bye at the dentist with the kids and running to the dump and picking up free firewood. That sounds awesome. Michael, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. Hope it goes good at the dentist. I know the kids are probably super excited to be at the dentist, aren't they? I know I dread that every time it comes up. So, also, Land Navigation Workshop is November 8th and 9th. That's over at Barren River Lake at the park. And yes, I know it's opening weekend of gun season in Kentucky, but that's when we had to do it. So sorry, that's when it's going to be. But that is November 8th and 9th and over at Barren River State Park for the Land Nav class. Combat Midwife is also going to be here. She'll be here October 25th teaching her class, and it's going to be at Western where we have the festival. And then also Leslie is teaching a herbal workshop, Beyond the Basics of herbal stuff, and that's going to be December 6th, and I'm excited about that. So if you need anything, go check those out. Everything's on the website, and it is, if you go to the website, on the homepage, you can go to shop, which is right at the top on the heading, or in-person workshops. That'll take you to all the workshops that we've got going on. Also, this weekend, I'm going to be down at TAC Response, taking immediate action medical. I want to leave, I don't know, I think Friday afternoon, something like that. Go down there and hang out with those guys all weekend, learning some new medical stuff. And I'm excited about that. And then also with consultations, Brian and Susan are helping us out on that. We're selling the radios, and then Brian and Susan are doing a 30-minute video consultation with you after you get your radio. So check that out on the website. That's under the shop at the top, and it's got radio packages. You can go in there and find it. So that is caught up on all the other stuff. And then also we've got Retro Warrior Coffee. Go to Retro Warrior Coffee on the interwebs. Use the code Homestead50. That will get you 50% off a sample pack, so you can try it before you do a subscription with them. So, all right. Trump yesterday signed, and tell me your thoughts on this if y'all seen the executive order. Trump signed an executive order that essentially, I caught kind of the tail end of it, that if you burn an American flag, it is going to be 1 year in jail for burning the American flag. I want to know your thoughts on it. Are you for it? Are you against it? Is that infringing on your freedom of speech? Do you think it's a good thing to have? I want to know your thoughts on it. I know kind of my thoughts on it a little bit. So tell me your thoughts on the executive order. So tell me that, and I would like to know what that is. And then Bill says, I'm fortunate enough to have my shop close enough to the pasture that I can have the Energizer in the shop. And that gives us almost 8 acres of grazing. Yeah, but I don't know. We're going to build a waterproof box on it. So, but my thoughts on the executive order thing is I personally have never had the desire to burn an American flag. I understand why people do it for protesting and stuff like that. I can see it. I'm kind of split. I don't like watching people burn American flags. I honestly think it's kind of stupid. But it is freedom of speech. And it seems like every time the government does do something, whether it is, you know, for safety or whatever, they infringe on people's rights. And then also the thing is how they're gonna enforce this thing. If I get on here on YouTube and burn an American flag on a YouTube video, are black Suburban's gonna run down the driveway and arrest me and take me to jail? I don't know. I see both sides of it. We shouldn't be burning it, but then also I think it's trampling on our First Amendment rights. So, and then Bill says, I don't pay attention to the news since we don't have a TV. And then Shelley, I don't think people should be burning the American flags, but I also don't like the government overreach. That's where I'm at. I just don't like seeing it burn because honestly, it doesn't need to be burned. So that's my thoughts on it. We're not going to shoot that rabbit hole too much. And then I'll tell you one thing I am so freaking tired of is hearing all the crap about Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel has, I don't know, first Cracker Barrel started selling beer and alcohol. And then I went in there and it's been whenever they first started, I was like, what the hell? They're selling beer at Cracker Barrel. And then they painted the inside of the place and doing all this. And now they've changed the logo. Everybody's in a tizzy about, oh my gosh, they took the old guy off there and took the barrel out. And they're taking away our history and our nostalgia from Cracker Barrel. And it's just like, you scroll through TikTok, you look, hell, one of the top stories on Fox News the other day was how Cracker Barrel changed their logo. And I'm just like, people don't have better stuff to look at than if Cracker Barrel has changed their logo or not. It's like people spend so much freaking time looking at Cracker Barrel, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they changed their logo. Who gives a damn? I mean, it's like, I don't care. I hadn't eaten Cracker Barrel in quite a while. Got really no super desire to go to Cracker Barrel. I would rather go to Rich Pond Market and get my breakfast if I'm going to do that. And then Shelley says Cracker Barrel equals red herring. Yeah. So everybody's in that. Everybody's looking at Cracker Barrel when who knows what else is going on with the government. I mean, you've still got Palestine going on. They're, systematically killing people and exterminating them in Palestine. You've got stuff still going on in Ukraine. You've got kids that are being trafficked and serially raped every day. People are not worried about that. I mean, hell, there's a lot more stuff. Look at the planning and zoning and the crap that's happening in your own backyard, and you're more worried about, oh my gosh, Cracker Barrel put a new freaking sign up. I don't care. It didn't affect my life whatsoever, except for I got to see that crap when I'm scrolling social media. But I don't know. I almost put the big Cracker Barrel logo for the thumbnail, but then I'm like, that's going to be stupid, so let's just not do that. So, and Chantel says, agreed, red herring. And then Shelley, yeah, there have been some pretty funny memes, but it's like the whole point of it is there's so much more stuff going on in this world than Cracker Barrel changing their logo. I don't care. It's just like, pay attention to the stuff that really matters. It's like Bill says, pay attention to the left hand, and then they do whatever they want with the right hand, and nobody will notice. Exactly. So who knows? I've been keeping out of the news. Sometimes the news I'll get is watching stuff on TikTok, and I know people are going to be like, oh my gosh, you get some news from TikTok. Sometimes TikTok is faster than the regular news stations, honestly. So that's what I've got on that. So now let's talk batteries. This is something I've got tons of batteries and all this stuff and hoard batteries. And I'm going to guess I'm a hoarder for batteries, but I know where all my batteries are at. All right. Batteries are, I mean, you need batteries. I use batteries in my everyday life. I carry a small little Streamlight flashlight, extra batteries for it. I typically keep that thing in my pocket. I do not have it in my pocket right now because all my stuff is upstairs in my other hat. So I'll grab all that in a few minutes when I leave the house. But batteries are going to run all your, your flashlights, some of your radios, some of your tools like multimeters, stuff like that, your smoke detectors for your house, some medical devices. So batteries are one of those things that you need to kind of stock deep. And I've got a good stock of batteries. I've tried to pin it down to some of the batteries we use the most. So most of the batteries that I've got. Good morning, Mel. How are you? Most of what I stock are AA and AAA batteries is the big stock that I've got, just because most everything I try to standardize a lot of the stuff on AA's and AAA's as far as flashlights, any optics for firearms and stuff like that. So your different types, like these are AAA's from Amazon. These are the Amazon basics. And you can buy these jokers. I think I'm buying them in packs of 200. And they've got amazing reviews. I've not had any problems with those. So let's pull it up and see. They're relatively cheap. Let me see. Orders. We'll see last time I bought these jokers. Oh, come on, you stupid thing. All right. 100 pack of 100 pack of the AAA's is $26.99 right now. So that's a stinking good deal. And then let me see, 100 pack of the AA's. Crap, I can't find it. But 100 pack of the AA's are not that much more expensive. But I stock a lot of the Amazon cheap throwaway for remotes and stuff like that. But your AA's, your AA's and your AAA's are a lot of what I stock, because that's mostly, I try to standardize everything. Shelly, those are the Amazon basics is what I've got. And those are my cheap throwaway that I use a lot of the times. Also, the in-loop batteries. And I've got no affiliates or anything for any of these batteries, so not making any money on that. Let me see, Bill. What's the best rechargeable batteries that don't quit recharging after a few times? Bill, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get in my rechargeable stuff. These are Panasonic in-loops. These are nice batteries. Lynn, good morning. These are in-loop by Panasonic. They've got the regular ones and then some black ones that are supposed to be a little bit better as far as your milliamps. These are, I think these are 2,000 milliamps. Yeah, 2,000 to 1,900 milliamps on these AA's. And these will charge, they say they will charge up to 2,100 times, Bill. Good morning, Rosie. But Bill, they give you a recharge up to 2,100 times for the in-loops. The only downside of the in-loops is the charger is 120 volt plug-in charger for the wall. It'll charge 4 batteries at a time. I picked these up several years ago at Best Buy. I was in Best Buy looking around, and they had a whole in section of in-loop batteries. They had the little kits with the chargers. They had the individual batteries, and they had them marked at 75% off. And I was like, holy crap, these things are dirt cheap. So I essentially bought almost the whole end cap. I spent, I don't know, $300 or $400 on batteries. So I've got, I think, half a dozen of the chargers, and then no telling how many of the batteries. And they do with the little battery packs. They make the the C and D adapters to where you can put a couple of the double A's or triple A's in to make a C battery or a D battery. But those are the end loops from Panasonic. Like those, the only downside of these is they're 120 volt charger. So you can't charge them off I mean, you can charge them off a solar generator and stuff like that. But the next step up that I went with are the Pale Blue Earth. The Pale Blue Earth batteries are, let me open one of these. The Pale Blue Earth batteries are USB-C rechargeable. If you can see right there at the end, they're USB-C rechargeable. When you buy them, they come with a little pigtail that goes into USB and then USB-C rechargeable. So it's got a 4-way splitter on it. So you can charge all 4 of your batteries at once. But the Pale Blue batteries, I've switched to those for keeping those in the truck, keeping those in a bag, something like that. Because with it, you can take it, you can take a small battery bank like this, plug your charger into there, and then charge all your batteries, unlike the end loops that need 120 volts. The end loops are fine if you've got a bigger solar generator that you want to do it with, and charge it is fine. But those are the 2 types of rechargeable batteries that I have, are the end loops and the Pale Blues. And also a cool thing with the Pale Blue, I got this. It comes with the Pale Blue kit, and you can get it on their website. That is a small little solar panel. Small. I mean, it's essentially a little bit smaller than a piece of paper, like 8.5 by 11, but it folds up. These are, it doesn't say what size watts these are, but on the back, it's got where you can plug in your charger for it, set it out in the sun, and recharge your batteries with that. I think it's awesome. And I mean, that thing's small enough. It's about the size of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Ask for the homesteader, Darren, good morning, or Patty, I don't know which one. But that's a cool thing to have to keep in a bag that you can recharge your batteries on the go. Some of the other stuff, the 18650s, I don't keep too many 18650s. Your 18650s and they'll go in some of your tactical flashlights. Some of them, some radios will take an 18650. Yeah, it's Darren. You never know if it's going to be Darren or if it's going to be Patty. So, but good morning, Darren. The 18650s are rechargeable. But the thing is, you need a dedicated charger for your 18650s. Some of the other ones, these are your CR2030, the little round batteries that a lot of those are for medical devices, stuff like that. The 2032s are what I keep because I've got some optics that take these. Like some of my red dots and some of my scopes will take the 2032s. So I've just got a bucket load of those things setting. Don't buy the cheap ones. I bought some cheap ones, and those things, after a year, I went to use them, and they were dead. So now I've got a bunch of Duracells of what I keep for the Duracells. Let me see. Your 9-volt batteries. I keep a bunch of 9-volt batteries. My multimeters that I use for electric stuff take the 9-volt batteries, and then all the smoke detectors take 9-volt batteries. The 9-volt batteries, like in your smoke detectors and your multimeters, they last for a good long time. I can't remember the last time I replaced one in my multimeter, but usually they'll go a couple years before I have to replace it. And it's that time of year I'm getting crud built up from allergies and all that kind of fun stuff. But and then your Yeah, your CR122s for your. They take some. I've got some CR122s, and I only keep those because a couple of the oddball optics and stuff I've got take the CR122s or 123s. And then, like I said, the 9-volt smoke detectors. Let me see. Bill says my Bluetooth remote for my iPhone takes a CR2032. Yeah, and I've got some of your smaller red dots take that 2032 because I know I've got a what is it, a SIG? I think it's a SIG Romeo that takes the 2032. And then they came out after I bought it. They came out with one that takes a AAA. So I was like, crap, I would have rather had the one that took a AAA. So maybe we'll buy one of those one of these days. But doing with that, and then you've got working up from there. Let me see, like your small battery banks. I mean, these are batteries. You know, everybody's like, I mean, it's a battery that's really no different than one of the end loops. I've got several of these jokers. One of them I keep in the truck that if I need something, I can just grab it, do whatever I need, and recharge a phone, recharge your, I mean, I can take this and recharge my Pale Blue Earth batteries, or I can take this joker and charge one of your handheld radios, because most of the handheld radios now are USB-C rechargeable. And I think this is a 20,000 milliamp. I got this on Amazon. It's a INIU brand. So it does pretty good. We were using this to charge at the festival. We had to charge the iPads while we were videoing. So I just plugged this in, and it did a pretty stinking good job on charging that iPad. And then if you want to step up from that, and remember, your solar generators, all they are is a big battery. So that, you know, you're just getting bigger and bigger batteries. And Shelly says, we have a couple battery banks. I also bought one for Randy a few years ago that has a solar panel on it, and it works great and charges itself. Exactly. And then if you're going to move up, from one of these, move up to one of these. That's the little anchor unit that I bought. Let's turn it on. Yeah, that's the little anchor unit that I bought. Amazon had those. I think these were $79. It's got a cool little light on the top. If I can figure out how to turn it on. There. So, but this is one of their power banks. You can also, this one does not have 120 volts just because it's not big enough to do it. And let me see. This is 192 watt hours is what this is. So it will do, it's got USB and USB-C, and then it's also got a solar input. I think it'll take up to 60 or 65 watt solar. So you can charge this joker on solar. I like it. It's lightweight. I think it's about 5 pounds. And one of the cool things is, I mean, you can take it, charge your iPhone with it, charge your batteries if you want to. I mean, because you can plug your Pale Blue Earth. You can plug it right into here, charge your smaller batteries with it. It's got a light. And then one of the cool things I was reading on it is if you keep it plugged up to power and the power goes out, it automatically turns the light on. It senses there's no power coming in, so it turns the light on like a night light in the middle of the night, so you can see and have a little bit of light. But that joker's cool. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in the truck or not. Honestly, I'm probably going to order another one if they still got them on sale. So, well, I like that thing. Let me see. Darren says, we made a list of all devices, tools, and equipment and what batteries we need and have storage trays for that. See, and that's pretty awesome right there. I mean, make a list of all that stuff. And then one other thing, and I didn't touch on it yet, is your power tool batteries. That's something that you need to think about too. I run all Milwaukee cordless stuff. So all my batteries are Milwaukee, and I've got like I don't know, bucketfuls of Milwaukee batteries. And then also the cool thing with the Milwaukee batteries, you can charge those things off your solar generator if you want to. Let's see, Bill, the solar panels for the pale blue earth batteries, can you put them on your dash and charge them? Bill, I don't see why you couldn't. I would probably not put the batteries in the direct sun. If you put the batteries underneath the solar panel, because your plug-in's on the back of it, I don't see why you couldn't. You just have to watch on not getting the batteries too hot. But I don't see any reason that you couldn't do that. I will probably get out and mess with that and see. I might take these jokers with me today while I'm working and stick them on the dash and do that. And try that and see what happens. But you're stepping up from this small anchor, you can step up to going with a bigger solar generator, something that's suitcase or something like that size. Go up to it. You can go all the way up. I've got over in the corner my it's the Anchor 3800. That thing is a beast. It's all I want to do to pick it up and put it in the bed of the truck. And I've done it a few times, and I was not super excited when I did it. But that thing's got 220 volts plug on it. But it'll run. I know Kyle at Grindstone was telling me, because they've got one too. He said it ran a full-size refrigerator for over 2 days. So essentially, it's just a big battery is all you got. And you can recharge it with solar, whatever you want to. And then the last thing are your 12 volt, like your car battery size. Those can be lead acid, lithium, or lithiums. I've got several of those. I've got a bunch of the regular flood lead acid batteries, the deep cycle ones that we use for just different stuff around here. One of them is in the fuel shed that to run the 12 volt fuel pump if I need to go fill a tractor up or something like that, or fill a vehicle up. So I've got it. You just put alligator clips on it, run it, you're set and ready to go. I've got some other 12 volt lithium batteries, like the car size batteries. I've got some of those down in the shop. I usually run my little office in the shop. I'll run those on 12 volt lithium batteries, the little recessed lights. Those run off 12 volt, and then my ceiling fan runs off 12 volt. And they do a good job running that stuff. But I mean, and then once you step it up, it's just scaling stuff, scaling it up. You could have a whole 12 volt battery system in there. You could get server rack batteries. That the server rack batteries go from all the way from 12 volt, I think, to 56 volt, something like that. And those server rack batteries are pretty stinking cool. And Bill says, just brainstorming on different applications for the solar panels. When I was looking at it, somebody had one. Of course, they show all these pictures on the brochures and the package and everything. Somebody had it strapped to their backpack as they're walking and hiking and stuff. So you could do that. I mean, you could set the thing out on your front porch and let it start charging for you. Just watch on how hot those batteries get is one of the things I would watch for. And then Darren says, hey, remember, you can keep adding panels when you get them. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to order for this small anchor, I'm going to order a 60 watt panel for it just to have and keep it together as a kit, to where I've got a panel that I know is just for that. And then, and same for the batteries. And then I've got for my anchor, my 3800, I've got a set of 400 watt foldable panels for it. So it does a pretty good job charging it. And then that solar powered cooler, the Anchor solar powered cooler, I've got it that I quote bought for my wife. I've got it, and it came with a 100 watt set of foldable solar panels. So I try to, every time I buy a solar generator or something like that, I try to buy the panels with it. So then that way, you're not switching on and off and stuff like that. Because if you really need these things, you don't want to have to worry, well, I really need to charge my cooler, but also I need to charge my battery, my solar generator and stuff like that. So if you can afford it, buy panels. each time you buy one of these things, buy a set of panels that go with it, and you know it's going to work for that. So you can have everything setting out all at once, ready to go, instead of swapping panels and stuff like that. Or if you really want to go big time, hook up, your whole solar array and have a dedicated solar array to charging multiple things at once. And it's just like Darren said, you can keep adding panels when you get them. I've really got to do a better job on getting a bigger battery bank. That's one of my goals for this winter, is to build a massive lithium power bank down in the basement in one of the storage rooms, because I've got the inverter and all that stuff. So it's just finding time and money to do it. So, and if everything works out, a little behind the scenes, I did a job for somebody like a year and a half ago, and I finished up a job, and the lady kind of ghosted me. So a few developments have happened on that, and I might wind up getting paid the money that she owes me, and it's a good amount of money. So if I can get paid that, some of that money might go to buying lithium batteries and building a big power bank down in the basement. So guys, just remember, we'll hit it again. The in-loop batteries, awesome batteries. I love them. We use them a bunch. And I tell you what, the boys have used them before in like your Xbox remote or your Switch and stuff like that, the controllers. Those things eat batteries, but these things last a pretty good while. So your in loops are some of your rechargeable. You got AAA and AA's for those. Pale Blue Earth are USB-C rechargeable. Love these things, and I've switched over to these because I can charge them with a USB and charge them off a small battery bank like this, or charge them off the dedicated solar panel. That, and then your 2032s. But that's about all I've got on batteries. I've got a ton of stuff to do today, and I'm probably going to scoot out of here in just a minute unless somebody's got some good comments. I appreciate y'all being here, though, and hopefully you learned a little something about batteries. You can never have too many batteries, in my opinion. That, and I like rechargeable batteries as opposed to, just the cheap ones that you chuck. But there's a place for the cheap ones that you chuck. And these are the Amazon basics, like I showed you a minute ago. Buy them by the 100 pack. That's about as cheap as you can get them. I did buy, I was at the flea market a couple years ago, and there's a guy selling some kind of off-brand AA and AAA batteries that are straight off the boat from China. Don't even know the brand name of them. They're some off-brand, but the guy was selling, I think he was selling 50 packs or 100 packs for like next to nothing. And I was like, I'll buy a couple of these. So I bought a couple of them, and they did decent. The only bad thing is after about 2 years, a year to 2 years, they've got little to no power. So they're just kind of drained out. And Shelly says, they usually have great prices on throwaway batteries on Amazon for Black Friday. Yeah, I will probably wait. I mean, Black Friday's coming up before we know it. I'll probably stock up a bunch on those. I'll tell you, on the back of the end loops, it says maintains up to 70% charge for 10 years of storage. So they say if you charge these end loops and let them set for 10 years, they've still got 70% of their charge capacity ready to go. So I don't know. I hadn't done that. I hadn't had these for 10 years yet. But guys, I want to go get busy. I've got to move the old couch and old chair out before the guys come to deliver the new one. And then I've still got to run into town and pick up some materials and go lay some tile for my brother. But guys, don't forget, run by if you need first aid kits, medical supplies, pre-programmed radios with a consultation. Run to the website, check it out. If you've got questions, email me. I can hook you up and answer any of your questions. Don't forget the workshops. I am excited about the land nav workshop. I got my compass in and ready to play with that joker. But if you missed the land nav morning show, go back and watch it with Mike. It was a good show. I enjoy talking to him, and excited to see and hang out with him pretty soon. So Guys, y'all have a good Tuesday, and I will be back here Friday morning, bright and early. And y'all have a good day. If you need anything, let me know, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.